Germs. Today we know that germs are the cause of many different sicknesses. We know that when we use the toilet, we need to wash our hands, or we could get E. coli or pink eye. We know right now, with Corona going on, we need to wash our hands, wear masks, and stay 6 feet away from one another. When I worked in the food industry, we had to wear gloves to protect the customers. Without this knowledge, today, many people would get sick and die from things we could avoid. The Bible, though, this perfect book that has all the knowledge we need in life, does not seem to have germ theory in it. In fact, we see the opposite of this happening when it comes to Jesus. In Mark 7, we are told that the Pharisees had a problem with the disciples not washing their hands before they ate. We know that this washing was ceremonial and not for hygiene in those days. However, if Jesus was God and knew what God knew, then why did he say, "Listen to me, everyone, and understand this. Nothing outside of a person can defile them by going into them. Rather, it is what comes out of a person that defiles them." While spiritually, when I was a Christian, I could see the issue with this. God was telling us that we are clean or unclean spiritually according to what comes out of our mouths. The big problem is, he does not go on to say, "But you should wash your hands before you eat so you don't get sick." Jesus had no knowledge outside the culture he was living in. If Jesus was God, he should have told people about germs and how they affect the body. Jesus believed that sickness and disease were because of sin, not germs. He used healing techniques that others of his time did, like spitting and putting mud on people's eyes, telling people they were healed because of their faith, or telling people they are forgiven of sins to be healed. Today we know about germ theory and hand washing thanks to Ignaz Semmelweis. He was an obstetrician in Austria in the 1800s. While working in a hospital, he noticed that women who gave birth with a doctor would die more than the ones who had midwives. He realized that something was being passed between the doctors and their patients. His plan worked, and the death rate fell from 18% to 2%. While it would be years later that his practices were put into place, he gave us the basic foundation of stopping people from getting sick. Why do we look to a book with obvious issues in it for guidance? I think a lot of it is the lack of critical thinking. When I still believed, I never once looked at this passage and thought, why doesn't Jesus know about germ theory? Instead, I only saw the hypocrisy of the Pharisees. I looked at Jesus as this amazing man who knew everything, and he was just putting people in their place. Sadly, this verse just shows us how people of the past did not have all the knowledge we have today. The Bible is a great resource to see how people used to think and how they understood the world around them. It shows us how far we've come in our own society. When we see how far we've come in science, math, and technology, we don't need to look at past ideas for answers. We have more answers today than we've ever had in the history of the world. And it's okay to say you don't know when there are no answers for something. The Bible is not flawless, and it's certainly not the Word of God. It's a man-made book. While I cannot say whether Jesus was real or not, if he was a man of his own time, and not a God who deserves worship like I was taught. I just want to give a major thank you for everyone who has supported me in these last few weeks and getting over 100 subscribers. I am so thankful for all of you and for the amazing people I've met. If you would like to continue watching my channel, you can subscribe below. I also have a Teespring, Patreon, and PayPal if you'd like to support me. Thank you for watching.